You just boarded flight, right? With Kit Johnson. And I, Kit Johnson, I'm going to be your captain for today's ride. I've got one question for you. Are you ready to ride? If you're ready, then around.
Give us. We need to take it. Give us.
Okay, welcome back. On today's ride, we're going to be talking about something that has been on my mind, and it's peace and fiction. More like what plays of fiction have with peace. Their attributes are very essential. You have peace, you have joy. Like there are things that are very, very essential as a human being, especially as an adult. I'm not just talking about the inner peace. I'm talking about peace between one another, like between Mr. A and Mr. B, between you and I. Does peace always come calmly, or are there times that you experience frictions for yourself? I remember in my first day, there was a course I took, and they taught us about how to resolve a dilemma. And they used the example of a bull. And they said that there are dilemmas that you resolve by going through the horns of a bull. That's as the bull is charging at you, you go through the horns and avoid it. There's also the type of dilemma that you respond with taking the bull by the horn. Okay? And there are times where you need to introduce a counter force to the bull. The bull is charging at you and it's coming towards you, and it's obviously coming to destroy you, and you exempt yourself, like you stay there, but when the bull comes close enough, you leave and the bull hits or crashes into a wall, and that's the end of it. To me, there are different ways of achieving peace or resolving a dilemma. So, but the thing is that you have to be very conscious to find out which method works for which. There are cases where you have to go through the button. That means in such cases, in achieving peace that way, in such cases you have to keep avoiding certain conversations, certain confrontations. There are times where you need to like stay away from the person, endure, okay? But then there are cases where you have to introduce a counter dilemma. That's the one I just explained. The one that is most related to the topic we're talking about is taking the bull by the horn, and I'm talking about friction. If there's one thing I've realized growing up as a person, it is that whenever you enter a place or you start a relationship with somebody, a friendship as the case may be, or any other shit, I think it's best to lay down your principle. Not like you're going to say, rule number one, this one will happen. Rule number two, that one will happen. No, that's not what I'm talking about. But I think it's that expressly or by conduct, you should kind of tell the person or tell that place or that environment the kind of person you are, because this thing they talk about maybe how you get to be treated. I think you're the one that gets to teach people how to treat you. I know someone that's a military man. He said that whenever he's posted to a new branch, it's usually very mean. Like for the first 3 months, it's always like, hey, you, I take query, you, this one, but then everybody will like, this one is wicked, this one is wicked, this one is mean. So everybody is usually up and doing. Then after 3 months, he will now calm down. He will now kind of become so sweet, because I know him as a very sweet person. So when he was like, so he can be me, but like that he has to do it because he realized that that's the best approach. When he now comes down, they'll be like, wow, something is actually nice, or it's not that bad, or blah blah blah. But when you come and start sharing things, oh my god, by the time you now want to be serious, people be like, I beg, you're now overdoing, or what's your own? I thought you're this kind of person. So I think it's actually best to put some foot on the ground and insist on what you want, which is actually what I mean by taking the bull by the horn. When I was in the university, I had a bunkmate. I don't want to mention the particular level so that she won't know if she won't know she's the one. I had a bunkmate, so when we resumed, I was also nice. Like I was about 2 or 3 years ahead of her, you know. So I was also nice and all that. But at some point, I felt like she had started crossing the line. Like I will come back, my bed will be scattered, my arrangement will become scattered, or she puts her clothes on my bed, or I'll come back, she'll see that I'm back, she'll still be lying down on my bed or something. Like, come on, say she'll tell you, Obeni, your time is up, move. After one day, I just called her and told her, no more, I don't want to see you on my bed again. Hey, God. At some point, she was not feeling so, I don't know if she was feeling bad, but I know that there was just this coldness between us for some time. But later on, I now brought her up, and I tried to explain to her that she crossed the line, that was why I had to caution her. But when I enter a new place, I just would rather have that, hello, hi, that kind of vibe, because I feel like whenever people see that you are just a cool, nice person, they tend to take it for granted. That's what I realized. But then the point I'm trying to make now is that sometimes in achieving peace, there has to be friction. Those kind of awkward conversations that you're saving for later might actually be what will save you from falling out in future. somebody, you're your own and somebody decides to give to you a land, it's better you tell the person, okay, please, can you document it, like, you have deed of gift, like, just put it in writing, so that in future I can present this document. Because the truth of the matter is that a father can give you a land, and the son will wake up and say, sorry, I don't know who you are, and this is my father's land. So there are times that you experience friction, and when I mean friction, I don't necessarily mean war. I mean that, like, there are times you have to hold certain awkward conversations. There are times where you have to confront certain things or certain habits that you realize, so that peace will reign at last. Because when people always talk about peace, they think peace is about avoiding certain conversations. Of course, there are times you have to avoid certain conversations, which is like going through the horn of the bull. And there are times that you need to take the bull by the horn and hold certain conversations. You're a young lady, you want to get married, a man is approaching you, you have certain conversations like, what are your finances like? Instead of you saying, oh no, let me not ask this, so it not look like I came to eat this money. Or when you ask that question, let it look like you came to eat this money. I think it works also for men, like a man, you also have to ask a woman, what's your take on this or what's your take on that? It's not maybe, no, let's not talk about it, let's not talk, keep sweeping under the carpet, sweeping under the carpet. One day, that thing you are sweeping under the carpet, as far as you keep going through the horns of a bull, that bull will keep charging at you. So there are times that for you to actually ensure that peace reigns, you have to put your foot on the ground and say, no more to this thing. Instead of putting it off, okay, I don't want trouble, I don't want wahala, I don't want this person to misunderstand what I'm saying. Let him misunderstand and happen now. It will be better it happens now than it happens in the future. Let whatever thing that happens, let it happen now, because if you keep putting it off, it will eventually happen. And probably it will be worse. At that time that you have to avoid confrontations, of course, but at times that you have to make certain confrontations so that that peace you actually want to win can win. So thank you for coming. Thank you for watching this video.